Finally, I get to review the thudertank. I got a lot to say about this thing, but we're going to cover the packaging for it really quick. Packaging, it's actually a little underwhelming. I mean, I expected this thing to come in a way bigger package, but it's pretty thin. Oh, and you got this whole thing. Other stuff in the line, what it does, what it says, so not much. Back to the toy. The toy is not that good of a toy. All my fears that Bandai of America would just totally wreck this toy line came true when I first saw the review of this toy by JT Mitchell 87, one of the reviewers that inspired me, and one of the first reviewers I saw on YouTube. Well, from him, actually the second. But point is that this thing is bad. The only thing this does right, and it doesn't even do that right, it looks like the show to a degree, except it's dull. In the show, it had a very shiny, very metallic look, almost chrome metallic look, or vacuum analyzed plastic, which that would have been awesome to see. But this thing is just dull, so it doesn't really look like the show. As I spin it around, it does use some nice paint apps, red, very nice use of silver paint apps here, and that's really it. Oh, here, and on the teeth, so, decently used paint apps. Inside is black. It should have used some sticker decalage. Lights and speakers are located here, which reminds me. You have to assemble this thing yourself. You know what? I'm going to leave these off. The sound effects are located here. Switches here and batteries here. Batteries you have to include yourself. Well, I'm here. Some decent decalage on the bottom. Wheels here, and then one here, because this thing does not actually use treads. Turning it on gives you the activation noise. Yeah, the connection points here and here are just so weak, along with here. This thing comes off way too easy. Sound effects are thus. Lighting up and gives you a blasting noise by pushing here. Lifting this panel up, which has actually a very nice plastic texture to it. I kind of like how that is done. You can launch the thunder racers, which the instructions say you have to lift this up. You don't have to. It can clear it, but just lift it up so it goes farther. Both sides launch, and it kind of looks a little empty here when you do that. So yeah, pushing the button gives you a launching sound effect. From here, now I'm going to cover this part, so I'm going to pull this off. This piece here actually has two wheels, so you get more wheels on this thing. And it actually extends a little bit here, and articulation here, and folding out claws. I thought these would be missiles. Actually, in the show, this shoots off on a string, it hooks up to something, and can pull itself up. That's actually pretty cool. And by the way, yeah, you can do that on either side. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to mention it now. You can attach these to it, which these are the $10 released Thunder Racers. But I'm going to do that when I review this one. And yes, I do have the other one. So yeah. So you got some options of displayability in the hands, which is very nice. Now, a detail that is so... You just have to be stupid not to do this. But they did give it to us. In there, in the show, it had a cannon right here. It's present, but it doesn't shoot a missile, and it's always closed. It doesn't lock into a position where you can use it. That's just stupid. That's just... Why would you do that? I mean, it's nice that you included it, but you don't use it, or give us an option of displaying it. Oh yeah, and in the back, you have the trunk. Now, this thing in the show can hold up to 3 people in the front, and in the back, it has 2 rows of sheets that, you know, because this used to belong to Momar, so he would load up troops in here, drive it in. If you've seen the show, you know what I mean. But opening it via magnetic lock here, any figure with mag can open it, excuse me, you can store weapons. Now, the bikes don't fit in here, so if the Wildcat bikes, they don't fit in here. The figures don't fit in here unless Snarf can fit in there. So yeah, nice that they included, but not really necessary. I'm saying it's not like the show, but still appreciate they included it. And in there, I just noticed that there are some molded-in missiles on the inside of this. So, some molded-in missiles. That's interesting. Now, I want to include Snarf real quick before I actually continue on with this thing, so I don't forget. Snarf he's not that good a figure. I mean, he looks cool, but he doesn't fit in skill with the figures. Like, he would be up to his boot, Panther's boot. So, Snarf is meant for the 6-inch, but he's got some slight arm movement and no head. And you get some tail options, but no, they really bounce back. So no articulation on the Snarf, unfortunately. But he looks kind of cool. And if he was going to be like this, I kind of wish he would be on his fours with his head up. And he does have the magnetic gimmick, so you can totally put him in here and activate the magnetic gimmick. So, yeah, nice paint apps. He does have the green eyes, and I kind of like him. Now, the magnetic lock system unlocks sound effects when you plug a figure in. And it is perfectly made for Panther. Panther fits perfectly inside. Getting the figures in can be a little bit of a challenge. You kind of got to just wiggle them in, and you position his arms. His arms are pretty beefy, but connecting...
Thudertank, activate!
Yeah, connecting that to the...
Thudertank, activate!
To the magnetic lock system does activate that, and it will go on and off when you fiddle with his hands to fit it here. But he fits perfectly in there. This gap is accurate into the show, and again, I wish this thing was bigger. I mean, seriously, this thing fits so out of scale. This cockpit's supposed to fit over 3 people, at least 3 people, and it just doesn't. Totally bugs me. This thing is horribly out of scale and cheaply made. Anyway. The unlocked sound effects are thus.
Thudertank, fire!
And thus. Which, these buttons are so finicky, you can activate them without actually launching these things. Putting them on. So there is that. And it's Lionel's voice. I mean, come on, Lionel? Really? Just really? If anyone's gonna drive this thing, it's Panther. Panther! He's epic. In fact, in the latest episode, at the time of this recording, he lost his arms to defeat his enemy. I mean, this dude's epic. So, why did you have to put Lionel? Put Panther's voice in here. He's the only one that will actually drive this thing. I mean, he'll literally beat you to death for driving his tank. It's his tank. Don't drive it. Lionel and Tiger fit in here very well. The way that Chitara's legs are done, she doesn't really fit that well in here because she has the V-cut. And I'm not sure if the Wily kits fit in there. So, sorry guys, I forgot to bring them out. But Snarf can totally drive this. And, you know what? Let me get the nunchucks real quick. Are you serious? They don't even put a magnet. Literally, it's a button. You could push the button in there and activate the sound effects. What the heck? Jeez. The magnet system doesn't even work that well. It's really these clips. So these clips are really activating the button. That's pathetic. So yeah. My overall review of this thing is that it's not that good. If there were going to be any more lights, they would have to be here. I would have liked to see some here. The trunk is nice, but really, you can only use it for storage. The Thunder Racers are okay. They actually are more accurate than this one, and these totally look like drones instead of motorcycles. It just isn't fun. It breaks the rule that toys follow, and that rule is being boring. I mean, really, this is a boring toy. I mean, it looks nice, so it's good for display, but when you start playing with it, and you're a little kid, and you go, yeah, my impressions of a little kid playing with a car is not good. But, I mean, it just falls apart. I mean, you try to extend this and this pops off. And when you're messing with, and when this piece falls off, almost always this piece shoots off. And again, extending pulls off. You try to extend this one and it breaks off. By the way, you can put this one on either side. I mean, it's just a bad toy. It doesn't do enough for me. It's just way too out of scale. The paint doesn't look anything like the show. It's just bad. And the only thing that's worse than this toy is its price. I mean, seriously, $30 to $40. Go to Walmart. Go to Walmart, because I picked mine up for $20 there. And I can't even recommend it for $20. I mean, seriously, it's so cheaply made and bad. What were you thinking, Bandai of America? All my fears that Bandai of America would totally just screw up this toy line came true when I bought this toy. When I saw the first review of this toy, I knew it was bad. This is just an awful, awful toy. Seriously. It looks nothing like, well, it looks like it does in the show. It's the paint that looks nothing like the show. And it's completely out of scale. You should be able to fit 3 people in here. There should be 3 seats here. And not to mention the fact that when this opens, which you can even just force it open. There should be a line of people in here that you can put your figures in. That would have been cool. It would have been cool if there were lights here. That's asking a little much. But why are there holes here? That looks like there would be lights there, and there's not. I mean, the sound effects are bad. I wish they used computer chips instead of just a magnet system. I can honestly not recommend this toy. Pay for this toy if you find it on clearance, or you get it at a garage sale, mint in packaging, for $5. Then I say this toy is worth it. But all of itself, it's just not that good. But there's one good thing you can do about this toy. You could totally make it look like you just got in a car wreck. And that's the only thing I can find positive about this toy. Now, if you like this toy, I can see why you like it. It actually has some good things. But, in my opinion, it's just not worth it. Pay for it if you get it at clearance, or you can get it for $10. So yeah. So this Battle Brawler finished with my review of the Thunder Tank. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I hope you guys learned about the Thunder Tank. And I hope I helped you decide if you should buy this or not. Yeah, so subscribe to this channel, leave a comment what you think of this toy. Do you own it? You know, stuff like that. And like this video. And I will see you guys later. Adios. Who jacked up my tank? Who ruined my tank? Was it you? No, I messed with my tank.